That was the killing of Andrew Brown of Elizabeth City. And it has been deemed by the DA as justified.
That's how they see us in America.
So when you watch this video, like I said, the DA came out and said it was a justified shooting because he was a threat. His vehicle was considered a weapon. When you watch that video, there's no way you watch this video and think he tried to run an officer over.
It literally looked like a gang came up and assassinated him.
Now, we could start it off by saying he shouldn't have ran. We can start it off with that. Okay, shouldn't try to drive off. All right, fair. But that don't mean him running justifies him being killed. See, when people come out and defend this type of stuff, a lot of people say, oh, black people like to defend criminals, like to defend people running from officers, obey officers, obey the command. That's not what people are angry about. Why is it when someone disobeys these officers, it must be death at that point?
Well, not when someone.
Yeah, when black
males.
Whenever they say don't want to go do what officers want to do, it's okay to kill them now. Like, why is it always 0 to 100? It's never okay. He said he's not following the command I gave him. Okay, we gotta chase him.
I've seen plenty of videos where white men do this. The officers chase them. They're busting back guns at the officers.
Let me tell you,
they don't do anything.
Yeah, I could show you a video of a man getting stopped. The officers tell him to get out of the car. He says no. He actually runs over a cop, goes on a whole chase, ends up pulling into the woods. They chase him down in the woods and handcuff him with like 50 officers.
Not bullet.
One didn't shoot him. And I'm like,
not one bullet.
Not one bullet fired. But with him, he tries to drive away and it's immediate. Everybody just shooting their gun. He's leaving. What the hell?
All you are is you a bullet bag. Remember that quote?
And that wasn't a quote by a white man or a white woman. That's all I'm saying. This is what the DA had to say about his assessment of what happened.
As tragic as this incident is with the loss of life, the deputies on scene were nonetheless justified in defending themselves from death or great bodily injury. There is insufficient evidence beyond a reasonable doubt to show that any of the deputies acted in a manner that was inconsistent with their perception of an apparent threat. In fact, my review of the incident indicates there is no evidence that the deputies who fired the fatal shots acted in any manner that is inconsistent with the threat they perceived, and certainly no evidence that the deputies acted in any way contrary to or in violation of North Carolina law. I appreciate the investigation by the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation's District Field Office. I have shared this conclusion with Sheriff Tommy Wooten and Special Agent in Charge Mache Rogers that no officer will be criminally charged. The officers' actions were consistent with their training and fully supported under the law in protecting their lives and this community. Confrontations between police and citizens in which deadly force is used are among the most important cases the District Attorney's Office will ever handle. My prosecutors and I have a duty to objectively analyze the totality of the evidence and circumstances, and that means we must face difficult issues which have been discussed at length in this report. It is my sincere prayer that no one is ever killed by law enforcement.
So the reason why it took them this long to come out with a video was because they've been coming up with this scenario and this story.
They've been
figuring out how to spin this, and it's not gonna fly.
I think they wanted a little bit of it to calm down. They were doing their investigation, and they didn't want to release the footage during the investigation because it would have been like, if everybody saw this in real time, like the second it happened, the day it happened, we got the footage. For the last month, people would have been saying he was murdered. And then you come out and say, I think it was justified. It would have been like, but because you release on the same day as your assessment, it's like people can be outraged, but for a month now, we've been waiting for the footage. So you already got to the conclusion now. It's over. So.
Do you think the people just gonna let this fly?
Well, no. they're gonna definitely go out and protest it. And the FBI has a investigation going on with this too, a civil rights investigation. So this is not really done.
Did they have the report? Is the report out?
You mean theirs?
Yeah.
I would imagine he released it with this. They released the footage.
So, at what point in the report is he going to say that the officer's life was in danger?
Well, like he said there, I'll show you because the reporters asked a lot of questions challenging this. Obviously, they didn't agree with it.
The video is so blurry, you can hardly see anything. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I remember with the Ma'Khia Bryant video. I'm like, why it was so hard to find a clear video? It's like, what the hell?
Hers is way clear.
No, the one I found was clear, but most of them look like this one. Most of the ones on Ma'Khia Bryant.
The one you found was much better than the one we're seeing right now.
So this is the article. Prosecutor failed police shooting. Afraid the police shooting of Andrew Brown was justified. Now, if you go through this and they ask why it matters and all this stuff, the FBI has opened a civil rights investigation into Brown's death. Police in Elizabeth City shot him 5 times, including the back of the head, according to an independent autopsy report released by the family attorneys last month.
I thought it was 9 times.
No, he was shot 5, but one hit him in the back of the head. I don't know. I guess they shot more than 5 times. Obviously, they shot all them, released all their bullets. They like that, but at least 20 shots, at least 25 shots. But District Attorney Andrew Womble shared 4 body cam videos at today's press conference. He said Brown ignored commands and put his car in drive, turning it directly at law enforcement officers who had surrounded the vehicle after attempting to serve drug-related search and arrest warrants.
They could have got out of the way.
See, like I said, on one hand, and you brought this up with the Ma'Khia Bryant story, why the hell you can't run? You know these people. But on the other hand,
it wasn't Ma'Khia Brown, it was a Dante Wright story.
Yeah, I'm sorry, yeah. And it's like, okay, he ran, but do he deserve to die? That's what we're supposed to be debating here. Should he have died for running? So then they got right here, driving the news. District Attorney Andrew Womble, I showed already. Womble said officers fired the first shot, which entered the front windshield after Brown drove directly at Sergeant Joel Lunsford. In this case, Desper used the amount of force deemed reasonable and appropriate by them to neutralize the perceived threat. Womble was repeatedly pressed about his, during the Q&A, that they was like, this is some bullshit, obviously.
Doesn't neutralize mean calm down?
No, it means stop. Stop them. The speed at which the car was moving was not relevant to my determination. Womble said, when asked by a reporter how the vehicle's acceleration or deceleration affects his decision, you're not allowed to drive over police officers. He didn't. So according to him, let's say I'm having a dispute in a parking lot and I'm done talking to the police. I want to go. And the police get in the car. And I get in my car and the police get in front of me. I'm like, I don't feel like talking. And I try to drive around a police officer. I'm a threat. Yeah. Even if I'm like literally barely on the gas, I'm a threat now. That officer is justified in shooting. Yeah.
If the first shot is justified, the last shot is justified till the threat is exhausted. That's crazy.
Extinguished.
Extinguished. Sorry. So it's like he's gone now. He's turned away from you. But you still get to shoot at this man because y'all trigger finger happy.
So it's basically what it's saying is once I see you as a threat, I can go until you ain't moving no more. Which goes back to that McDonald case in Chicago a few years ago, which the guy was found guilty. But when the kid had a knife, not kid, I don't know how old he was.
What are you talking about?
The kid out of Chicago, McDonald, I forgot his first name. He had a knife. He was having a mental episode allegedly.
Laquan?
Yeah, Laquan McDonald.
Yeah.
And he was walking away from the cop, but he had a knife and the cop started shooting and he's on the ground and the cop was still shooting. That's that mindset. We keep shooting until you're not moving. Even if you're moving because I'm shooting you. So I'm shooting and you see your body jumping, but they just keep shooting. It's crazy. Womble and Brown's car was deemed a threat regardless of which way he was driving after reporters pressed him on whether Brown was attempting to drive away from the officer instead of towards them. So is he saying right there he became a threat when he started backing up? Not when he started going forward. He was a threat once he started backing up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just rereading it. So they're saying even if he was attempting to drive away from the officers,
yeah, but
he's still perceived as a threat.
Yeah, but he said regardless of which way he was driving. So that means when he
could have been backing up.
No, when he was backing up, he was a threat already to them.
How is that possible when we've seen it? Okay, so is this North Carolina's
I don't
law.
know. I don't think so, but maybe it is. Maybe that's how they.
Because he said in North Carolina. He made sure he specified in North Carolina.
Maybe so. Now, the lawyers came out for the Brown family and said to say this shooting was justified despite knowing the facts is both an insult and a slap in the face to Andrew's family, the Elizabeth City community, and irrational people everywhere, they added.
We demand that the court release the full video and State Bureau of Investigation report that will help shed some much needed daylight on the case and bring a small measure of justice to this family and the community, because we certainly got neither transparency nor justice today.
Thank you. Yeah, we request the federal Department of Justice intervene immediately. So obviously they're gonna try to take this a little further, and look at that. We're not even gonna get in on that right now. But yeah, they got off basically. No charges will be put against them right now. I don't know if the FBI, if they can later on down the line hit them, because I think the only way the FBI could do something if they feel like what they did infringed on civil rights. So they're going to prove that the officers did something that infringed on that man's civil rights. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could say they infringed on his right to live, I guess. I don't know. But are you surprised about this?
No, I'm not surprised. I knew that when it came out, this is what it was going to be. I think in that Dante Wright video, people kind of thought I was going off. Like, I was just trying to say, you know, don't put yourself in certain situations. But this is definitely not justified. I mean, this man was backing up
and leaving.
Trying to leave. He was no way trying to run over officers. And they've somehow managed to twist this and say, oh, well, he was trying to hit an officer, which is a complete lie.
Yeah, I think they know. I don't think, like I said,
like, this is bullshit.
I don't know how far the FBI can go in this. We'll see.
Like, what world were we living in that they think this shit is gonna fly? That's what I'm trying to understand.
I mean, you run up on a dude with your guns drawn, like ready, cocked,
like
ready.
y'all came to this man's house like a fucking game.
Yeah, that's how they move though. They SWAT.
And did they ever come out? Was he a drug
Well, in the
king?
first 10 minutes of his press conference, he was describing his past.
But in the report, they said there was no drugs found on him.
Yeah, not in the house or in the car. No, but they were talking about his past, his affiliations with drugs and all that stuff.
We're not talking about the past. We're talking about the present.
When they were giving him a warrant for an alleged, remember they said I found an article.
What was the warrant for?
I had found an article, but the article was deleted, of them saying they had him on film making a sale. But when I looked up the article again, the article was deleted. So I don't know.
So did he say what the search warrant was for?
Drugs.
So they was coming to search his house.
It was a warrant for his arrest. They giving him for drugs and other stuff, criminal stuff. So I don't know. Unfortunately, this is pretty normal how things work. Like I said, all they can do now, see what the FBI investigation comes to. Other than
America's iniquities.
Other than that, it's over.
It's like it's boiled over.
Yeah,
like
it's been boiling over.
The trash under the rug. It's like the shit is piled to the damn roof.
It's been boiling.
It's not an elephant in the room no more. It's like,
yeah,
it's there.
Yeah, I mean, it's been like that for a while though. But anyway, man, unfortunate news, but expected. All praise to the Most High and peace.